Hey there, and welcome back to Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, the game! As you recall in the last episode, I showed you that styly Decepticon Seeker bit stream. And now, we're on to yet another Seeker. Another one. Because there's a lot of them, and this probably isn't even all of them. I'm sure there are way more. But, this one should be one you were all a lot more familiar with. So, let's get ramming to it. Way to ruin it. Decepticon Ramjet. Now, this should be one you are all a lot more familiar with, because Ramjet was a Wal-Mart exclusive alongside Voyager Skywarp, who was still being worked on at this moment. I have both of them, actually. Of course, funny story about that. I think I ordered them from site to store, and the day I went to pick them up, there they were in stores. Imagine that. But, yeah. You know, cool figure's just the same. Even if that figure was very limited for its time. Yeah. Ramjet's first movie figure was I think a Fast Action Battlers. Some Claw Slash or something. Regardless of that, he turned out really good. I'm very pleased with him. I had to take some creative leaps, as I'm sure you can understand, but I did have some better reference for this guy because, as some of you may remember, Ramjet and Skywarp both came with a sort of card, a light ray card that showed both of their forms in a much more realistic manner, so I was able to do with a lot more with Ramjet than others like Thundercracker, which I had the old Allspark powered Thundercracker. Reference for him was, I had to guess a lot with him, but Ramjet was a lot easier. Well, now that we've covered that, let's run down him, shall we? Okay. Well, his head is mostly all white, with the exception of that red line in the middle. Don't look away, we need to look at you. See that nice red line running through the middle. Another thing that I should note, might be a little hard to see. Stop it! Stop turning it improper times. His face, might be hard to tell, but his face area has been blackened to replicate the figure. And his mouth is also kind of a bit silver too. Might be hard to see, but I did do that. Bring it back a little more. Color section, I think, is white, mostly. His chest is white with a red stripe running down it, as you would expect, because that's what Ramjet had. His vertical stabilizers are solid black. Shoulders have a black tip there and has the main, typical Seeker shoulder pattern. White with a black outline, and the surrounding area is also black. I tried to figure out his shoulders was just impossible. Although I think his shoulders were full white on the card. I'm not sure about that. But I decided to go with black just for a more creative touch. I do a few of those here and there. He's got some red spots beneath his arms, if you could tell. I just realized I forgot to update his wires, but I can get that later. It's okay. Yes, I did wire updates, but he was supposed to have them. He doesn't. I will make sure he gets those later. His arms are black. Pretty sure the card showed me that. Hand is white with that little black spot right there. Torso-wise, he's got his panels, as well as that other piece alongside it, just to the side of the cockpit. Crotch is full white. Not something we really need to dwell on there. He's got some black pieces alongside that. Thighs are, I believe, all white, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, all white. Knee pads are solid black. No halves and halves here, just solid black. Now, legs might be where things... Oh, before I get to those. His back section. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. His whole back looks amazing. Like, seriously, it's probably my favorite part about him. It just looks so good. He's got the red wings, as you can see, with the black and white lines running down it, because if you know his jet mode, you know he's got that. He's got a nice black piece in the center that really just sells the deal. Engines have a little bit of white on them, or thrusters, whatever you want to call them. Backside, he's got that lovely red pattern right there. Really, just the whole back section is just phenomenal. Probably my favorite part about him. Just looks so good. Now, probably the most extensive difference I've taken is with the legs. Because his legs are pretty much all black. Like, all around black. I believe his legs were originally some sort of weird light orangish color, but to me that just didn't realistically make sense, so I went with black, and I think it does the job more than sufficiently. He does have some white spots on his feet, as you can see. Little white spots, and I think the center is also white. I think that's a first, and so is that little piece right there. But I think that's generally it. It's pretty much all black. But he looks great. Definitely one of my favorites. I haven't been disappointed with any Seekers in this pack thus far. They're all pretty great. Oh, and he's got that black Squadron logo on his chest. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Robot Mode. Definitely a great looking skin. Alright, well, that's it for Robot Mode. Let's take a look at Jet Mode. Ramjet, transform! And Jet Mode is pretty much what you would expect. Albeit he's a lot more distinctive than other Seekers. Primarily his red wings, as you can see, with the black and white lines running down it. He's got a... Let me turn him on his side. Yeah, that's better. He's got that red sort of stripe running down it where you see it in chest. In Robot Mode, his nose is black with a, howbeit, kind of small Decepticon symbol in there. I worked that in as best as I could. I think that does the job. His horizontal and vertical stabilizers are black. So are his engine section right there. Take a look underneath. He's got more red wings and red pieces on the underside, as well as the black one in the center of the underside. And yeah, that's pretty much Ramjet. And in case you don't know, the reason they call him Ramjet is because he smashes things with his head. So he just likes a whole bunch of advanced melee attacks for this guy. Now, this is not based off of a fan fiction design, but more of a Hasbro figure. You probably gathered that by now. I was working on a custom render, but I haven't done anything with it for months, and he's nowhere near the level of completion as this. Just gotta fix up the wires, and that's about it. But I think that's pretty good. Might actually have a little time for a quick mission, so I'll go queue something up.
Painting of topography shows a range of targets for maximum disruption of city. Laser painting targets that will yield maximum damage. Search and destroy.
I figure we can go through this whole mission and smash things with our face. Maybe.
Destroy the tanker truck.
Take a lot of damage, but what else is new? That's what Ramjet does. It's Ramjet, not Starscream. Now you might die from this, but that's what Ramjet does.
Catastrophic damage estimated. Destroy the next tanker. Ignite the fuel.
And we'll ignite the fuel sound like.
Fire. Take evasive action. Destroy the next.
No wonder he's taking so much damage.
Eliminated. Target eliminated. Tanker truck.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Train. I don't want to take too much damage or I might die.
Is in sight. Destroy it.
Oh, come on, that did nothing? Wow. Oh, and there's something behind me.
Destroyed.
Where is that? Down here. Now. I'm not gonna risk hitting that until I get repaired.
Significant collateral damage. Laser tracking petroleum tanker drop. That is your next target.
Okay, so it sounds like talks a lot of this level.
Target eliminated. Catastrophic damage.
I really don't want him to die.
Next
But...
tanker laser paint.
Wow, he's taking a lot of damage.
Eliminated.
Wow, what's that guy doing? Oh! Okay, how come that does nothing?
Enemy fire. Defend and return fire. Station destroyed. Secondary damage. On.
What? Did we get them all? Oh, we got them all. Might as well get the bonus objective, right? What does that sound? What's that screeching? We missed. Ah! We're quite done. Woo! Move this.
All Decepticons transform and attack! I will destroy.
Well, that's new.
Oh,
I've never seen a character campaign fall apart like that. Well, let's just casually walk out of here. Guess there are no more Autobots.
Decepticon final objective complete.
Well timed scream.
Citywide chaos achieved. Significant human casualties. Mission successful.
Yay, I think. And that was Ramjet. Very great skin. Probably the only change I'll make is fixing up his wires because I kind of forgot about that. But otherwise, I guess while I'm here, I'll show you his multiplayer icons because all the characters are going to have them. All of them. Yes. Let's see. Over here. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite icons. There's also one that replaces the one in campaign. But yeah, pretty much the same thing, just with a white outline. Great icon though. But yeah, that's it for Ramjet. The next character is actually going to be another Conehead. And it ain't Dirge, so that shouldn't leave you with a pretty obvious choice. So you'll see him next. That's it for this episode. Bye.